As a rom-com merchant, I was super excited when I first heard about this movie. After watching it, I'm certain it fulfilled my excitement with joy and laughter. As a general statement, I believe that this movie has a lot of great moments to discuss. As you may already know, the two main actors were Sydney Sweeney and Glen Powell. I believe overall, they both portrayed their characters and the storyline well. Personally, I believe that their PR relationship outside of the movie definitely had me intrigued to see the film and how their relationship and chemistry would pan out in the movie. Now, away from them. If you've done your prior research, you may know that the film was a loose adaptation of Shakespeare's play, Much Ado About Nothing. Throughout the movie, there were small quotes from the play integrated into the film. I thought it was a smart and entertaining touch. Furthermore, if you've seen the movie or are on TikTok, I know you just can't get enough of the song Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield. This is Ben, Glenn's character's comfort song, which is also played as the movie finishes. The song choice for the movie was brilliant. Not only is it super catchy, but the song itself is super nostalgic, especially to the target audience who have most likely also watched older shows such as Pretty Little Liars, which also include the song into their soundtracks. Storyline now. I thought the way the film portrayed Ben and Bee's relationship was superb. One example is their first night together. I liked how their first night together appeared much more affectionate and romantic, rather than sexual. I feel having the two main characters simply enjoying each other's company and time helped form a strong relationship to the audience, rather than just a physical one, making parallels to the rom-coms from the 90s. I also quite liked how the movie was connected throughout. In particular, an example of this was when Glen Powell's character Ben revealed slight indication about his late mum-to-be when they first met. However, it wasn't until later on in the movie where she actually found out the truth about his mum. This not only made it more heartfelt for the audience, but additionally added to their relationship in the movie by revealing how comfortable and trusting he was of her at the beginning. Overall, I believe the way they portrayed and established their relationship from the beginning of the movie was perfect and helped allow the rest of the movie to flow and make sense to the audience. Now, on to Jack's take.
Overall, this movie was a blast from start to finish. I'm honestly not the biggest fan of rom-coms, however, this one felt very different but also gave me the vibes from those early cheesy 2000s films, which felt so right to me. This movie down to the T was simply entertaining, far more than I anticipated too. Being filmed in Australia as a centre stage for these localities felt so fresh and relevant due to being an Australian. This instantly made it far more realistic for viewers like myself. The chemistry is a major pro for me, which is the most vital piece to any romantic comedy. What I find funny, however, though, is that in the interviews and marketing for this movie, it almost felt more intimate at times than what we actually saw in the movie. I would also like to mention in relation to the previous top rom-com contenders for my personal favourites are She's a Man, 10 Things I Hate About You, She's All That, and The Girl Next Door. These right here are big contenders. However, this movie had aspects from many of these that have come before, but is still unique and creative in aspects compared to the others. Whilst this is not the first rom-com with Glen Powell in it, I've heard that Set It Up is a far better movie, but I am yet to have seen it and it will pose as a nice comparison to this one once I have watched it. My favourite scene in the whole movie was actually the start and everything that happens right before the title card. It felt real, funny, intimate and intriguing for what was to follow. This helped you get on board with Ben and Bee from the beginning and made you like or dislike them depending on everyone's interpretation. Now this film caught me by surprise and one that I actually highly recommend to people who love rom-coms or anyone who wants a good laugh. Okay, here is where it gets interesting, where some of our opinions, not just myself and Keita, will differ. A certain con that I did not enjoy, although to some might think of this as a positive, is that the movie felt like one big scene at times, without many scene changes or alternate locations to spice up the journey as such. Rather, it just felt like 2 to 3 places with extensive scenes were shot there. This sometimes made it hard to understand how much time has passed or where we are up to with these characters in particular. Additionally, what I thought they should have done with this movie promoting side is to mention far more evidently that it's a movie spin-off from Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing, which the movie loosely follows with the 2 central characters. This may entice other viewers to come see the film, not just as a new romantic comedy. Okay, so as an Australian, I am kind of however sick of having the token Aussie be so over-exaggerated in numerous films. Yes, I know for the purpose of this romantic comedy, it's kind of funny, but I still feels slightly forced from an Australian's perspective, and sometimes it feels like these films discredit the everyday representation of the vast cultural uniqueness us Australians have. And this is where I felt like throughout the movie it kind of shifted in reality, and you could kind of see how sometimes this is not how real life works. However, it's still a great film, and I still enjoyed it very much.
I quite like this movie a lot. However, there are always certain dislikes to every movie. I found that my issues were often with the side characters. I believe Darren Barnett and his character could have definitely been utilised better. I feel like he was kind of just there for most of it. I also feel like certain character choices were a bit questionable. For example, when the two main characters started a fire on the flowers, I felt like it was unnecessary and not funny when the side character Margaret just took all her clothes off to stop the fire. I think I was just a bit more confused. Like Jack said, I know it is a comedy, and trust me, the movie was funny. I just feel like the portrayal of the Australian surfer guy was very over the top, and some moments even felt a bit cringy, but again, wasn't the worst thing, and the movie was still funny. As a whole, I did quite enjoy this movie. I thought it had all the elements required in a rom-com. I just don't know if I would go as far as saying it is the best rom-com ever made. I could be blindsided by nostalgia, but I still believe that rom-coms such as 10 Things I Hate About You or How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days are just simply the best.
This film excels in many of the rom-com traits with numerous fun and engaging scenes. Yet sadly for myself, it doesn't crack my top 5 personal favourite rom-coms. However, for this genre, it is a very, very strong film in this recent decade. We hope you enjoyed our review of Anyone But You, and we like to hear you guys down below about what you thought of the movie, or if you're planning on seeing it, or if you have no interest at all. But anyways, guys, thank you very much, and please like and subscribe and share it with a friend. See ya.